Hello, Reds. I'm hopefully not lagging. Welcome to Anfield Road TV. It's me and Kev this evening. Got a chocker-blocker show. Anything that you want to discuss, Reds, leave it in the comment section below tonight. Or if you are watching on the repeat, as always, do get involved with me, Kev, or whoever the panelists are throughout the week. Anyway, we will always get back to you. I've had a busy day, Kev, but I've really. How are you, matey? And
Well,
thank you very
first
much.
of all, congratulations, Jack, on your graduation. So yeah, Jack, or as the fellow who was giving him the award says,
Wow.
Jake. Is Jake
Yeah.
happened? What was his? What was he doing? I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think he might have been a Mank.
I don't know. I
Or a
was
Manchester
like,
United.
do you not know who Jake McKindo is?
Yeah, that's like,
No, I'm good. I'm good, lad. Good. I'm having a good day, man. So yeah, all good. Yeah.
Chat, how are we? As I said, if you there's a quick picture anyway. There we go. For us.
Segue.
Segue into it.
I didn't even know you were going to do that. I just congratulate you
today. But yeah, no, it was. I really do appreciate everyone over the last couple of months as well. Apologies for the certain weeks where we've had a bit of inactivity, especially over the last couple of years as well. But I wanted to get that finished and boxed off anyway. Very fortunate enough to have got a first. Doesn't really matter what anyone gets as long as you pass. That's the main thing, really. And I was just aiming to pass, and it was really good, mate. And I just say to everyone, anything that you want to do as well, especially my background, where I've come from and everything. The difficulties, not just me, but a lot of people never stop chasing your dreams or always continue to learn as well. You're never too old. Even if you're into your 30s, 40s, 50s, there's always room to learn and improve in every different facet, mate. But yeah.
And also put me in your videos and you get honors.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that will be getting released on the channel.
That's cool, yeah. It is a cool documentary.
There's a little documentary coming out in the next couple of weeks. I would like to get a lot more people involved, so hence why I haven't released it. It's half of it's recorded and edited. Well, it got marked anyway, so it was good. But I'm looking forward to releasing that as well. But chat, as I said, massive thank you to every single one of you as well. Big up to every single one of you, even in Panov, even Jack and Spider. Nice one for that, Wigs. Appreciate it, mate. Every single one of you is big up there, Jen as well. Hope you had a fantastic Tuesday afternoon, everyone. It's not been too bad. Wherever has it, Kev? What's it been like there?
It's been warm.
Yeah.
Wet and warm, but just I don't think there's I like it when it's wet and cold. I actually like that, but wet, sticky, warm. That's just just really sticky. Just check off back to the Amazon. You know what I mean?
not the best.
It's not the best. You're already feeling kind of clammy, and then it just makes you wet on top of it. Nah, thanks.
Yeah, it's fortunate enough the weather did stay off anyway.
For you,
yeah, which wasn't too bad. But chat, we'll speak about obviously football, Captain Fordham anyway very soon. Just a little article that come out from Get French Football anyway. More or less putting the rumours to bed anyway. The links for all the stories and articles this evening are always in the links and in the description. If you are watching on the VPs, go and check it out anyway. Which is always good. But we'll quickly get segue straight onto that, and then obviously we'll jump into the pre-season. The lads behind me, as you can see, all back apart from Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott due to their exploits in the last couple of days in relation to helping England get to the final as well. And there might be one or two at the minute. Obviously, Thiago currently out injured, which isn't the best anyway. But we'll quickly move on in terms of Captain Fordham, coming from Get French Football in the last hour or two. Captain Fordham, 22, is now expected to remain at Nice this season as the midfielder eyes a spot in the Euros 2024 French squad coming from L'Equipe. Kev, this has been probably the most prolific news transfer relation player that's been linked with Liverpool in recent weeks, mate. How do you feel about that? If Liverpool have, by all accounts, looks like they've moved on. It was interesting. The last couple of weeks, as others have been looking at this story with a lot of, and the rumours and everything, with a lot of both eyes on it, really, because it could have moved anyway. Newcastle in the last 2 months,
Mm.
well, 2 weeks really, have come supposedly into the negotiation table as well. But okay, what's your rationale thinking around that, mate?
For me, I think he was a bit of a smokescreen for Szoboszlai. To be honest with you, I think the Kone thing was. I think him and Kone were genuine targets, but I don't think that we were getting McAllister, Szoboszlai, and one of the two of them in the same window. I'm thinking that before we even had a look at Szoboszlai, I think we were looking at. Well, I think there was always a look at Szoboszlai since the beginning. But whether we had a chance of getting him only when the player himself said that he ruled himself out of Newcastle and wanted to go to Liverpool. I think that's when everything was concrete and everything just pushed on really fast from there. But with Kev from Thuram, I think there's genuine interest from us, genuine interest from Newcastle, amongst other clubs. I think Bayern were interested in him at one stage, but there's certain elements to somebody's game that just doesn't suit a club. And even though he's got a lot going forward, I don't think there's enough for him defensively. He could be developed under Klopp, but I think Klopp just saw the complete article in Szoboszlai, and he just thought, let's spend the money on this dude, and then just concentrate on Lavia for a DM. And I think we're kind of sorted. And I think a lot of it had to play into the homegrown talent issue as well. I think Lavia had to be considered. And in that case, then you're considering, do we bring in a Thuram and a Kone, which are very similar?
Would you have said, Kev, there would have been 2 chock-a-blocker in that? Because I
think so. Too many.
Obviously playing that number 8 advanced role, by all accounts.
Gakpo can play there too. Yeah. Curtis Jones can play there, Bajcetic can play there. On that side, it's just too many. So if anything, we're a bit weak on the right-hand side if you're thinking about exact positioning, and you're thinking about Henderson and Szoboszlai and maybe Harvey Elliott if he's going in there. But I'd like to see Harvey Elliott being played as a backup to Salah, to be honest with you this year. I think that's where he's most effective, is coming in. Another left footer coming in from the right hand side. I think that suits him down to the ground. But for Thuram, the minute Liverpool saw that Szoboszlai's chance was happening, I think they just dropped all interest in Thuram, to be honest with you. And I'm delighted we're that rootless, to be honest with you.
That's what we spoke about last night, mate, as well, chat. We spoke about over the last couple of weeks, and we spoke at length, really, mate, last night with the lads. We don't want to be really getting into a situation where we're not getting bullied, but you're getting the sense that the club, the selling club, first and foremost, whoever that is, it is kind of taking absolute Michael, really, in terms of just taking the mickey out of Liverpool. And as you said there, mate, Liverpool have explored the possibility of bringing Szoboszlai over to it was rumoured that we went in for him for a very long time ago. And we knew about the release clause, and it was just a matter of when, not if, when Liverpool triggered that negotiation.
I think I want to finish Panav's sentence there.
Yeah,
I'm hoping we're doing the same thing with Tchouaméni and Lavia. I'm guessing he's going to try and say that. So I wouldn't mind that either, lads. So don't get me wrong, Lavia is a fantastic talent and all of that, but Tchouaméni is the finished article. But whether Klopp goes back in for a player to turn him down, I don't think so. I think Klopp is very moral standing when it comes to that kind of thing. If somebody turns him down, he doesn't tend to go back in for him. So he just shuts it down.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah. Big up there, Jen. We'll get to everyone's comments as well. Keep on getting them in chat anyway. Was Alisson back? I didn't see, but there was a lot of Jen. I don't know if you see, mate, in terms of you're not that savvy on, you're savvy on social media, but in terms of Twitter, Kev, because it was like the last couple of hours, was it yesterday? I think Alisson put a message up, and then everyone was going, "Oh, is he kicking off at Liverpool and all that?" I think he was disappointed, really, to be back, because he's a family man. We know how important to all the players, but mainly Alisson, in terms, especially losing a close mate in terms of Bobby Firmino. Family's so important to him, and Fabinho and Bobby were they still are really tight as a group anyway, as best mates, as the Brazilian contingent would be. But I didn't see him, Jen, but that doesn't mean we've had to say he'll probably be there, Jen. But in terms of, because obviously he had an injured finger on the last international duty, and you never know. Yeah, so it could potentially be where. But if he's there, and but at the certain moments and certain days, you're not quite savvy in terms of, it's probably pictures, loads of pictures, but they haven't released them so far yet, Jen. But fingers crossed. I can't wait to see him back. And you know what Jurgen Klopp's like. It's
Weeks is right, by the way.
Yeah. But in terms of Jurgen might give, not that he's got favourites, but he might give one or because that's what Jurgen is. He's not a manager like Mourinho, strict. Well, he is strict.
Alisson Becker's player of the season last season. He deserves an extra week off.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Family, you never know. But Wiggs, I think for them staying another season to develop some more is a good thing for the lads. Kev, you were agreeing with that, mate?
Yeah, I agree that because I think he needs all round play. No, I would have liked to see him probably going. Some place like not Nice, but some place like Leipzig would probably suit Thuram to go to. And if I was Leipzig, I'd be all over the Thuram deal, and then sell him to us again next season. But that's it's teams like that is where you should be. It's great being in the French league and being good in Nice, but you're never going to develop yourself to the next level until and playing against Paris Saint-Germain is not really playing against Paris Saint-Germain. It's not really a test because when they go into Europe and stuff, it's not really a big test. It's a team full of egos, and sometimes they decide to turn up, and sometimes they decide to, I don't like this fella today, so I'm not going to pass it to him. And it's just an egotistical team. It's a
weird team, a very weird team, mate.
It's a fashionista team. It's just a team full of Jesse Lingard would love it there, but he just wouldn't be good enough for it.
I've got quite got that. She's Waz or whatever you want to call it.
But social media, it's right. But I think Thuram would do well at a place like a Leipzig, maybe even a Dortmund. With Jude Bellingham going out the other way, I'm surprised they wouldn't go in for him. I think he could do well at in these sides, and then you can see him develop on and then become worth that 60 or 70 million that they'd sell him on for then, eventually. But I know everybody's saying we should be getting in and getting these players at 35 million and something like that. But instead, we did the right thing by going for the 70 million pound player in Dominic Szoboszlai, who's ready to go right now. And I think Liverpool are learning from the mistakes of not waiting around and just getting a player before he hits 100 million odd valuation, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we'll be speaking about those two lads in the next little segment chat as well. Obviously, two Maka and Szoboszlai, the two new boys on the scene this season. And they looked, I'll tell you what, mate, as you can see from the just look at that depth behind me there, Kev.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, you got Cozy, that one, Cozy. Szoboszlai there.
Yeah.
Maka hiding away. Jota, Trent, and Lucho. Like, that is frightening, in all honesty. If I'm an opposition team going into next season, the attacking. Yes, we'll speak about obviously Liverpool's defensive frailties. Well, we have quite large lengths over the last couple of months, but one thing that Liverpool do best is absolutely terrorise teams at the other end of the pitch. And the addition in relation to the other two lads, mate. But we'll quickly battle through these as well. Of course, we'll quickly segue into the two.
That's like looking. We always give props to Man City and stuff like that. When you look at the team, we're like, oh, that's a scary team, or this or that. But when you look at it again, and you look back, you look at Ruben Diaz. Nobody heard of him before he went to City really much. They've known a couple of things about him. It's buying the right players. I mean, Pep does tend to do that. You have to give him props for that. The same as Klopp, he tends to buy the right players. But the thing is, these are really sought after guys before they came to Liverpool, but they still suit our situation. So for me, that's more intimidating than what you'd see on like a new addition to City coming in. But they just, City gel really, really well together, and they're a machine. So we just have to make sure that this kind of intimidation works in our favour as well as Klopp's tactics. And this is where I think we're on par with City this season. I think coming up, I think we'll do well.
100%, miss. Jack, you won't get any comments in. Make sure you are smashing that like button as well. I think we're close to 15 likes, which is good. Really appreciate that, everyone. Get them up at least to 20, 30 if we can by the end of the stream. It'd be much appreciated. Big up there, Everest. Hello, everyone. Hello, matey. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you had a good day. Planov, hoping we're doing the same thing with... Oh, yeah, we've already covered that one. I love it when we're linked with someone, and even better... player comes in and even out of nowhere, it shows that these so-called ITKs know nothing. No one knows anything unless you are like literally your brother's working for Liverpool Scouting Network or whatnot, or you work, or you have a slight connection, like a proper connection. Where, because I think, Kev, if you'd had that good connection within the club, you wouldn't be allowed to say it anyway. Like, because it would get out anyway. Like imagine, like the Fekir deal. Someone leaked that image of him in a Liverpool kit, and I'm telling you now,
fired.
fired on the spot. Because from a PR perspective and a whole company, from there's a lot of legal ramifications, really.
Embarrass the player, name rights, everything was involved in that picture. Could have caught. But like ITKs, lads, the biggest load of horse shit I've ever seen in my life. Anybody who even comments on their posts, even to give out to them, gives them traction. Don't comment on them. They haven't got a clue. They're sitting in their nan's bedroom or their basement, and they're like, if I create these scenarios, or if I jump on every little chat where like a Reddit post or this and that, and just find out glimpses of information first, I'll just bang it up on Twitter, and then everybody will love me and give me more. Been doing it for ages, still not any. Like when do you ever see? Have you ever seen any of these Twitter ITKs in real life? No. Have you ever seen them at a thing asking questions of a football star? No. Have you ever seen them asking a manager? Have you ever seen them with a press pass? No, because you've never seen their face. They're just guys that make stuff up in their bedroom. So please don't give them the time of day and just move on from that.
Especially the two biggest ones, yeah. Wait, well,
we get information from everybody else, but we just get a second.
Yeah, we report on the rumours. As I say, you'd always do look to the very well respected journalists. There's a lot of them out there anyway.
The one thing we don't say, Jack, is according to our sources.
Oh no.
We don't say our, so they're not our sources. We're just the same as you guys. We just spend a lot more time looking for the stuff and just try to give it to people that don't have time in the day to get the news, or enjoy the football, or just want to chat. Just sit and talk about Liverpool. That's all we want to do. So
yeah. My source is Pat Down the Bingo. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, Everest, what are we? Yeah, we more or less covered that Everest on yesterday's episode. Oh no, sorry, it was the night before Everest, so we haven't checked that episode out, mate. I think we more or less went a good 20-30 minutes in terms of discussing the whole everything on that, mate. But segueing us perfectly into what obviously one of the lads mentioned here in relation to Henderson looking absolutely shredded to bits.
Yeah.
We need a new Brazilian. Hopefully, there, Everest would be great. That mate would be fantastic. Don't worry about Ali. We got a new South American lad in the mix with Mac 10 as well. Definitely. I'm glad to hear. Wouldn't tarnish my name by loads into money. It's the thing, mate. If we all got offered that sheer amount of money, I tell you what, we'd be lying if we said we'd turn it down anyway. Everyone's taken the bag. In all honesty, anyway, I know I would. But it's all about that exposure, and it's improving the Saudi league as well. And me and you, Kev, spoke. I think everyone spoke. Like, they are not messing around. What they're doing with their league, I think just before we come on air, I think it got confirmed by Fabrizio Romano that Milinkovic-Savic, hugely talented. I think he's 26, 27 years old anyway, but he's a very good central midfielder in the Serie A, going to one of the Saudi Arabia clubs, and fair play to him. It's like they are spending the money, and it's not that a case in point. Everyone used to say about the MLS or certain other leagues around Europe that well football, at the back end of the year, back end of their career. Kev, look at a player like Jose, youngster from Celtic. He's gone there young. He's hoping to develop the league, mate. But I tell you now, they will be in the Champions League in a couple of years.
Yeah, I think they can get involved in it, all right. The good thing that I see about the league at the moment is, it brings another league with money behind it up into the rank, and it'll create more avenues for more players that are probably lower than fringe-based players to get in, but still higher quality that's over in that league at the moment. So I think I think it suits that. The only thing you'd be worried about is taking these type of players, the Jotas and stuff like that are fringe-based players, that could be Premier League-based players, and actually do pretty well in the Premier League. So that's what you have to worry about them taking away from the league. It's all well and good. I mean, you could turn around and sell your Tyler Martins over there, the young lads, and then you're taking away potential from the league. I wouldn't like to see that kind of stuff start happening. You could have your Divock Origis who are surplus to requirements but still young. And then you could sell the likes of him over there to these leagues and, make a fortune off him, really, and just bankroll your own team, really,
It's the caliber of play as well. Got my interest up massively, mate, in terms of just looking at the league, what they're doing as a whole infrastructure. The talent, mate. It's not a case in point of just robbing your Divock or your other that quality. We love Divock, as we know, but they are getting Karim Benzema. I know he's 36, 37 hours he is anyway, but he's still capable of playing in any top European league anyway, a high consistent level. Savic there, the list is endless anyway. I think Pogba's been linked. Supposedly Juventus won 10 million. I think they'll happily take 10 million by
10 million.
Yeah.
For a name like Paul Pogba, who can still play football and do it, I know he fell out of love with the game. That's the only reason why a player would be playing the way he's playing. But like, it's easily. I mean,
don't get me started. I'd be
10 million. Then it gives me less hope for Thiago to make money off Thiago if he was to go in the summer. You know what I mean? So, and he's been far better than Pogba in the last couple of seasons, even though he's not been available. So, yeah, I don't know.
Paul Pogba. I can just hear Conor McGregor in the back of my head anyway. There we go. And whoa, what?
I don't know what that is.
That is it.
I don't ask what I'm there. That's what I thought he was doing too. You're the best fella. Somebody needs to take that and make it better in the Premier League. I think. Mac, give to McAllister.
Oh yeah.
Just he'll do a double. I'll get in there. Jack, we're going down a rabbit hole. Continue on. Sorry.
There we go. Yeah, just leave Kev doing dabs for 20 minutes. There we go. Hendo looks, that going back to what obviously Everest was saying there, mate. It's a great point by both of you lads. Like Hendo is looking absolutely shredded, mate.
Yeah.
And that's what we spoke about 2 nights ago in the episode, Kev. Like it's the level that they dropped last season by a lot of the players. And hopefully if this gives Hendo a kick up the backside, which it looks like it has, like in any job you're in, if people start getting brought in around you and if they're potentially better than you, then your company will eventually look to move it on anyway.
It's like Hendo for me, man. He's integral for the team. Yeah. I would not get rid of him in this, no matter how no matter if he was at 60 or 50% of himself last season, because as we said before, lads, you're going to be sick of me saying mental and physical fatigue. You're going to be sick. You're already sick of it for the last season, but that's exactly why it is. But to have Henderson's brain, his humility, his leadership, his advice, his loyalty is another thing. As a player, as a captain, he's been as loyal as any player that's gone through the Liverpool books. He's sacrificed a lot. Like he's gone and had operations that he could have gone on and had a bit part career somewhere else, but he's gone on and fixed his heel, broke his heel, been out for 4 months just so we can get back in and play football for Liverpool Football Club. So, I would have him right up until his contract ends. There is no money to be made off Jordan Henderson because he's given enough for the club for us not to be greedy to look for money for him. That's my opinion. I think that should be the majority of Liverpool fans' opinion when it comes to Henderson. He's our captain. Will he see more game time than Szoboszlai? I think no, not maybe. He will see it in the Europa League maybe and some cups, and he'll see a few league games at the start. I don't think Szoboszlai will start straight away. I know we're all hoping that he starts, but I think Klopp is always the guy that plays what he knows first, and then adds the rest of the lads in to take over, like Robertson did to Moreno, and Gakpo did. So
bloody look at them, these boys. Well, that's how we'll put on the thumbnail. The boys are back in town. They certainly are, mate.
Yeah.
Look at them. It's obviously supposed both of them could be definitely models anyway. He loves the camera. It was like that. I used to love Daniel Sturridge.
I'm looking at Szoboszlai now, and all I can think of, Jesus, man, Emre Can was a budget Szoboszlai. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like to me, I'm thinking that's what we were hoping to get when we got Emre Can, but that's not the way it turned out,
Pack of Raban, potential new
we'll
definitely get some
it's money. It's money in the bank, and
put us towards some more new stand extensions. That and anger Twitter. But we'll quickly move on to them too in a little second, but we'll wrap through everyone's comments as well. As Wiggs, confidence is key, mate, 100%, but that only starts, as we know, to start winning your first game. Win. Focus one game at a time anyway. I don't believe anything until they sign the dotted line. 100% there, panel. That's what we all say. We got there, Doug. I don't know what I was going to call you there, Doug. Apologies. It was so nice. Doug. How are we, lads? All right, Doug. How are we? Matthias, evening, latest from the rumour mill. She seems to be going to Crystal Palace. Is that the Hellier? Is that the Torino centre-half. I think that's a Torino Dutch centre-half, and it used to be on the books at Ajax. One that he was linked with us years ago, and I mean years ago anyway, before Matthias de Ligt did move to, obviously, at the time, Juventus. And then obviously he's playing for Bayern Munich now. Interesting one, mate. It'd be a good signing, really, for Crystal Palace, mate, I reckon. Hi, panel, how we do? Oh, yeah, big up there, Doug. Hopefully the bump is all well and good, mate. Any news, transfer news from us, Jack? Phil, at the minute, mate? Not at the minute, mate. I'll quickly recap before we do go on to the other one. But anyone just tuning in now, the reports this evening in terms of Get French football from the Queep. Kevin Forum is now expected to remain at Nice this season as the midfielder eyes a supposed spot in the Euro 2024 France squad there, really, Philip. So that was just probably the main one at the minute, mate. Nothing more advanced at this moment in time as of recording and being live chat in relation to Lavia. Just go back to the video, which we did do a couple of nights ago in relation to that as well. We'll make sure. Hello. It's likely linked to just not sure. But yeah, we'll quickly segue into this new the three final ones anyway. We'll speak about this sharp-looking lad in a little second. But Kev, how much emphasis, and we know the camaraderie in not just at Liverpool Football Club, but in terms of Klopp at Mainz, Klopp at Dortmund as well, that atmosphere that he's generated, the feel-good atmosphere, not just in the fan base, mate, when he come through the doors at Anfield. But in terms of the whole cohesive dressing room and in terms of bringing that expectation level back to Liverpool and bringing it back to the top of Europe anyway, mate. How do you anticipate the lads bedding in? I think for me, it's an environment, Liverpool, that has been set by Jurgen Klopp, and it's been set by the type of individuals that Liverpool have got in the locker room so far, mate. But what do you anticipate bringing these two lads will bring in terms of obviously their footballing qualities, mate? But do you anticipate anything more than that, mate? Or
you see, I think Klopp has got he's got a plan in his head with these two guys. I know he's obviously got a plan, but in the way they play, they're two very different players and how they play, but they complement each other very well. In the middle of the park, whereas McAllister likes he's not really a speedy kind of player, but he comes onto the ball late. And then he's able to hold up the ball for anybody that's running off him into the midfield. I mean, Messi said that he's a dream to play with because he'll hold the ball until the player's in a perfect position, free from anybody else to either get a shot off or, at least be a layoff to another person that he can see that he can't get the ball to. So his football brain works really quickly when he's on the ball, but he's able to hold it up really well. Szoboszlai is just, he's the guy that will just get the head down and run at you. He will strike from 30 or 40 yards, no problem. He will burn up the wing on the right-hand side. He'll burn up the wing on the left-hand side. He'll track back and get a tackle in as well. So, these two guys complement each other so well that I can see a lot of the ball being gifted into McAllister, who'll just play it into a free Szoboszlai, and it'll either be a strike on goal or a dip over the top. That creativity that we're missing for Nunez, and it's key for me as I was kind of going into Nunez before the show with you, Jack, earlier. It's all about creativity getting this guy going. He was a nuisance to defenders last season, but he just didn't score enough. If he had the supply that he should have had from our midfield last season, that dude would have been in 27, 28 goals easily last season. And I think with these two guys being behind him, they're going to create a lot of chances for him. And we're missing that. Fabinho, when he did have good midfielders next to him or should I say fully fit midfielders? I can't say that they're bad midfielders. I mean, come on. Henderson's been our captain for years. He was fantastic for us. He's not as gifted as most other midfielders, but he gets the job done. He's your workhorse. And in every team, you need a workhorse. And because he wasn't our workhorse, and we lost Gini Wijnaldum at the same time, it was really hard to create that kind of cover for Fabinho in front of him. And he hindered because of it. So with these two guys in front of him now, he's going to be. I think he'll be back to his best.
Yeah, definitely. You're spot on. Every midfield player, come what the first game of the weekend, you're spot on there, Kev. Different traits, and you look at City, they've got a lot of different variety of midfielders. You look at Gundogan, obviously gone to Barcelona now, but when he was playing, Bernardo, De Bruyne, Rodri, all very different, but all very good.
Mm.
But it's all about having different skill sets within your midfield. You need your runners in certain moments, and especially if we can get the best out of Henderson and we just let him do. Because could you imagine, chat, as well, Liverpool going to next season, and we've got squad rotation now, which is fantastic. It's absolutely phenomenal that we finally got options. And you bring in an eager Henderson, Curtis Jones as well. Go and check out a very good episode on obviously Anfield Raps YouTube channel. I think they released it a couple of hours ago anyway. Their podcast that they done with Steven Gerrard. And he talks at depth and really the quality of what Curtis Jones brings to this football club. And I think and off the back of just watching that, Kev, from the Anfield Rap lads, it just emphasises I'd much rather listen to a Champions League winner, Steven Gerrard, one of the greatest ever Liverpool midfielders, one of the greatest ever captains of Liverpool Football Club, ahead of anyone else on Twitter. Because Gerrard watched him as a youngster as well. He speaks about the maturity, what he brings as well. He was saying Curtis was better technically than Steven Gerrard was, but which is interesting to say the least.
Panov kind of hits it there as well, where he says, I agree, Spider, but it seems about 80% of our fan base disagree with you. The hate he gets is unreal. So that's to do with like Henderson and a bit earlier. And I get that, but you see, Panov, that's where we're leading into the 80% of, because that's probably just the 80% of Twitter. So to me, I don't count that as a fan base. I really don't, because, you know, and you'd be very, very lucky to see half of these guys talking on Twitter when there's not a transfer window happening.
In a pub outside Anfield, or in a pub in Miami, or like
they're not talking about football when it's football season. They're talking about football when it's only transfer season. So take no notice of these guys. They'll be all gone in about 6 to 8 weeks. About 7 weeks. Once the transfer window closes, you're not going to hear from these guys until January again. So they'll have a quiet 6 months.
And so even if you have the conversation in the pub, you wouldn't get at each other. Even after a couple of pints, you'd have a sensible discussion. And
it's not anonymous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this is what I'm saying. I mean, just to kind of segue a little bit away from that, this is what Twitter and all need to do. I know Elon Musk has introduced paying for your blue tick and all of that and that, but he should have everybody verified via phone number, via ID on these kind of social media apps, so that, you know, so that can be that only the system sees it, not him or anybody else that can access it. So there should just be a way of the only way you can create an account on these kind of platforms is by having no anonymity, and that's, you know, it's integral to going forward to stop that kind of this kind of crap happening, to be honest with you.
Yeah, big up there, Everest. I think a lot of people have followed suit, mate, anyway. Gone are the days when you used to knock for your mates. Are you coming out, lad? No, no. Messenger, all that nonsense. Nothing better than going out and getting some fresh air and touching some grass as well, to say the least anyway. But as Wake says there, in relation to, was it Nivea would be all over these two in relation to Sabuzlai and where was it? Actually, I need to switch that over. But yeah, in relation to Sabuzlai, where is it? Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that was it. You would be, mate. Just lovely look at them. But look at absolute bloody legends. They will be Liverpool legends, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
But, Kev, when I seen a social clip come out today, and I think for the large majority of every Liverpool fan, my man Trent come back from holiday. I think it looks like he was a holiday in America. He loves his basketball, as we know with Trent. But yeah, he looks fresh. Like this to me screams like he's gonna get break the record assists that he's ever had at Liverpool in terms of just barnstorming, breaking into that penalty area and just laying off a gut shot or banging one in against Leicester, as he always loves to do.
Yeah, look, I
love it.
This is a very important season for Trent coming up because of the first half of the season that he had last season, which I can still put down to, you know, the same as Henderson, the same as Fabinho, a little bit leggy. I mean, Robertson suffered from it, Van Dijk suffered from it. I think the only person that didn't fully suffer from it, a couple of times he did, was probably Alisson, but he's a goalkeeper at the end of the day. He doesn't do as much running as the rest of the lads, but he still has to have his mind, you know, in the game. And sometimes that even left him last season. He was brilliant throughout the season. So it's all down to how they hit the ground running. They look fit. They look sharp. They look lean. Henderson is the epitome of that, really. In the way he's been training himself before coming back. And I just it's everybody's got a position to play for now. I think bringing in these two guys has elevated expectations within the team. It has elevated competition within the team, and I can only see good things come from that. So if we get a Lavie in on top of this, that's going to elevate Fabinho's game tenfold. And even if he does get a bit of burnout from it, Lavie is there to come in and clean up for a few games until he gets his thing back, so, or he's groove back, let's say. Yeah.
Trent is, if he is to stay in that midfield for a long period, he is your £100 million player there and then, like, in all honesty, like,
unreal.
If he was available on the market, like, probably hope he's never available on the market. I'll tell you that now. But yeah, it's easy to be getting 100 mil. I'll tell you what, the first person on the phones to Liverpool would be Pep Guardiola. Like, for every single time we play City, you're always shouting and telling, get your hands off our Trent, because you got Pep Guardiola. It's like, he's the one player he probably looks like in the whole of Europe that you go, imagine him in a Pep Guardiola system. But we're very fortunate enough as a football club to have him as well. And a lot of the players, but I'm excited, mate, lads and ladies as well. Yeah. I think Trent is absolutely gonna do absolute bits going season.
I think Szoboszlai in front of him, Jack, is going to open him up for long shots galore. I think everybody's going to be watching Szoboszlai so much that he's going to drill out to the left, and Trent will be on his own at the edge of the box, banging him in top corner every 5 or 6 games or something like that, So yeah, I think so.
All the angles are covered, mate, and just aren't they? In all honesty, you look at when you get more better players. You look at when I used to watch Ronaldinho as a kid. I used to love it, like or even Messi. It's
my favorite player.
Like
Ronaldinho, yeah.
Like, watch him as a kid, they'd be throwing like 6 players on him, but it opened up the whole absolute pitch for Barcelona at that time anyway, and he was just dropping kids left, right, and centre in terms of obviously the bodies flying, but there was so much space at the other end of the pitch. Like, he was untouchable, and hopefully that just elevates Liverpool's game tenfold. And yeah, you're spot on there, mate. We'll quickly, in a little second, speak about the main man, Jürgen, to conclude tonight's episode, everyone. But in relation to Hellier's comments, could Liverpool play the 3-2-2-3 formation next season? I wonder. Simply forgetting fullbacks, bombing down the wings anyway.
I think that's one of his goals, Klopp. I think he wants that formation as part of his setup.
Yeah, we spoke about that quite in depth, really, there, Elliot, in terms of the box midfield. But it's easier now, Kev, as Elliot said, in relation to the adaptability, really. And that is the biggest.
I'm sorry, Jack. I just read Wiggs' message about Ronaldinho.
Oh yeah, hang on. Where's this one? There's that. Yeah.
Down the bottom.
Oh yeah, hang on. Is it?
Ronaldinho could make a wall. I'm sorry, I read it and I couldn't keep my face straight. Yeah, sorry. Nice one, Wiggs.
Happy days, though.
Sorry, Jack.
Carry on, lad. Oh, God.
I lost it. No, I lost it there. No, sorry, you were saying. I have no idea what we were talking. We were laughing so much. But
Elliott's comments in terms of the rotation of the squad.
Yeah.
And
we did all that in the last couple of shows. There was a good hour and a bit work, hour and a half work done into the 3-2-2-3 formation in the last episode. Is it Eller? Is it Eller? Is it the name? Eller Mateus. So yeah, it's we did a lot of that in there. The 3-2-2. There's a number of formations that can work well. You got the 3-5-2 if you want to bang an extra midfield, and it will hinder a little bit up front, but you could drop one of the lads back. I think Klopp is going all out to create multiple scenarios for multiple formations. You could have 3-5-2, which includes Robbo and Trent still in the team, which could also turn into a flat back 5 when we're on defence. So look, it's options.
Yeah, which is good. I think you were in the comments, mate. I know you were anyway. But really appreciate it. Absolute legend. Big up there, us. And we'll segue quickly into what Wiggs has said there. if Rice is 105, then
Yeah.
Trent is easy 140, probably even
Yeah.
a bit more than that. Depends on, as I said, the coach. I think even if Guardiola was, or any top, even Xavi at Barcelona, if he was available and he had the money, then they'd throw the bloody kitchen sink at it really to get him.
I think Trent can prove a lot of people wrong this season, not just for his right back play, but I think that if he starts playing more of that DM role, where he gets a tackle in, a leg in, wins a lot of ball back, tracks back, and turns the play back over. I think that everybody will turn around saying, "Oh, geez, we're all talking about Rice and this kind of ilk," but Trent has got it all. He's got the passing, he's got the shooting, he's got the cross-field ball passing, and he's also got the ability to win back and intercept in his game. And we know he's got interceptions there because I've seen him doing it a lot of times. His only problem is he's so far up the pitch that he can get caught out in right back. But if he's not playing right back, and that's the formation setup, then nobody can complain about him not being right back if he's an inverted fullback. He just has to get back and cover where he can. So if all of that kind of onus has been taken off him in the latter part of that last season when Klopp moved him in there and announced that he moved him in there, I said he's not a right back, he's an inverted fullback, which is pretty much a midfielder, another DM alongside Fabinho at that stage. So if he adds that tackling and he's and those just a bit of that hardness to his game, I think everybody be talking about him in the same milk all round as Rice.
Very special, mate. And I tell you what, if Southgate doesn't actually win a competition with this squad, like even the young lads under 21s, like there is rumours that Guardiola, there has been for a while, that Guardiola or Mourinho, one of the top elite level managers in Europe. I wouldn't like to see Mourinho in charge of England. But imagine Pep Guardiola with that England squad. England would literally win the Euros and would win the World Cup with Pep Guardiola as manager by a bloody canter really, in all honesty, mate. And even better if he actually did leave Man City as well.
That's why he's going to take over from our guy and manage Ireland next year, aren't you, Pep? Nice one, bud. See you later.
There you go. So like, Henry, you're turning up and handballer again, lads. All good. It's all good. All good. If you still, was it ease? That was, I still can't believe that happened, mate. Was it years ago? When was that?
What's that?
When Henry handballed it against that.
Oh God, no mind them. Like that cost us going to the.
That was the Euros.
The World Cup of the Euros. I forget what it was. It was the Euros, I think. Yeah, but that cost us, man. And like we were all over him. We were destroying him at that stage. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just Henry can never set foot in Ireland again. That's the only thing.
Yeah, cheers, Kev.
Yeah, I've seen fellas chasing a bus down in Dublin Airport because the man looked like Henry getting onto a bus. You know what I mean? You think you're handy, do you? Yeah.
There we go. So yeah, it good doesn't anyway. I'd rather we signed a right back and put Trent in with Fab as well. Would be cheaper as well. I think me and Kev done an episode. Well, I think the whole of YouTube and social media done an episode about Pavard's really.
Yeah.
He has been linked in, I think, the last 48 hours to Paris Saint-Germain, which is probably just people going, it was French and could he go back to Paris anyway? But potentially, I think he'll be a good.
He could. I think it suits his kind of. I don't know whether he'd make it at Liverpool. I don't know. We know he's kind of more. He prefers more centre back and stuff like that. But I don't rate him that highly. I know he's got a couple of cracker goals for France, but he's playing in a world class team and that pretty much defends itself. So if you can just kind of like slide into a position in it that makes you look good and do it. But I've never kind of. He could prove me wrong now and go on and become a world star, but he hasn't done it yet. And he's been to a couple of World Cups at this stage. And
who's this?
I just don't see it. Pavard.
Oh, he scored
worldly goals. But I mean, John Anna scored worldly goals, but that didn't mean he was the best left back in the world. It's just that's the way it is. And
quite Stephen.
No, he's not Steve Finnan. Steve Finnan would eat everybody alive. He was brilliant. Him and Dennis Irwin. I have to give it. I know they're Irish, but I have to give it to him. Like they were some of the best fullbacks in the world. Like so, and in saying that, you'd love a Gavardiol, who's a massive Liverpool fan, by the way. Liverpool, do something about it, please. If you can pocket change anything, and if you've got 130 million left in their back pocket, bang it in there somewhere. But I would take that. But he's obviously going to go to City. But in that case, just stick Konate on the right hand side of that centre back pair and put Van Dijk through the middle and go for a left centre back, a left footed one. We could do with a bit of that.
Big up there. Big up there, Everest. Massive thank you for tuning in, mate. I know it's quite late over by you, so really appreciate it, matey. And as always, have a lovely rest of your evening or night or day, wherever everyone is watching as well, mate. But big up there, Nigel. Nigel, don't know if you just finished work now, mate. The link is in the group chat. You're very welcome to hop on in the last 5 minutes. Evening there, Nigel. Big up chat. Hello. And as Nigel said there, Kev, yeah, that was the World Cup, lads. France lost all 3 games at the World Cup to Ghana.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
Wasn't that the one that Senegal beat them the first game, was it? Was that the very first game?
Yeah, I think
they were off.
I think
we should have hammered them.
Wasn't that the camp where like a lot of stuff happened off the pitch as well, like in terms of like they were all arguing with each other as well. But yeah, France prior to Kylian Mbappe's era in terms of that squad, and you do look at Benzema as well, how he's not really obviously with the history of him in France have had anyway. But it's mad how good that team has been. Even Griezmann goes under the radar for me as well when he plays for France. He does a job. Doesn't really stand out much, but he does a job.
Yeah, I mean that's why you get when a team wins World Cups like they do, and they do have superstars, but none of them really stand out. You got to say that they're working. That's pretty much a team cohesion right there, rather than just somebody being the all-out star. Because I think that was the problem for Argentina for a long time. They had a star in Messi, and they were always trying to give him the ball, but he was always marked out of it, and they were their own worst enemy. This time around, they started playing like a team, and did your Alexis McAllisters and stuff like that, and they did the job and went on and won it. So yeah,
happy days, huh? Last couple of last couple of comments anyway. Elliot, it's a fear about next season. Hopefully, mate. City go, but it's a long way going, mate. We'll find out where Liverpool are, but I'd love it. I think we all would love that, mate. But if that did happen, Elliot, in relation to that, mate, we need to be there. We can't be allowing Arsenal to, sorry, Russell, be still in the comments, mate, but we can't be allowing Arsenal to, or another team, even a bloody hell, could you imagine the scenes if City did drop off the league by something 30 points, and then you've got Man United top of the table, or
they've done it though.
Or whatnot.
City have done it every 3 or 4 seasons, where they've had big seasons, or they've had like a final, or so. The year that we won it, we were 25 points ahead of them. Before we got to, I think, the Watford game and we lost, and then, they started catching back up a few points. But like the league was already done and dusted by November, and I think we were the earliest in timescape to ever win the league, and then we were also the latest in date to win the league at the same time, which is it's nuts, man. And like I think City, I do agree there, man. I think City will have a drop off next season. It all depends on how much they recruit, but I think losing Mahrez, I think losing Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, they were some of the most creative players last season. I think not having Phil Foden up to his best and not getting enough game time last season is going to be like a reboot for him. I think they suffered at the start of this season just gone because they switched their game from playing in inverted underballs, I call it, but inside balls in the channels where the channel runners ran in there and the other lads were just smoke. I think they lost a lot by losing that kind of football and just playing the ball up to Haaland a lot, and they dropped off a few points. Only for Arsenal battled it, and City always for the last 18 games of a season will win 16 games out of those 18. They're capable of doing it. So you need to get far enough ahead of them to really shut up shop by the end of it. So get ahead of them and keep your head in the game. Never think the minute Arteta and all of them guys were saying, "Oh, we're going to win it," they became complacent. They were losing the Brighton 3-1s, and they were losing here, there, and everywhere. And then it was good night, Arsenal. But Klopp won't make that same mistake if he's in that position.
Good night, Vienna, and especially the hunger from all of us, mate. Even the fan base, but even the players. We spoke about that 2 nights ago with the lads, mate, and we in terms of their disappointments, especially watching City doing what they were doing. But it's our own fault.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only teams that can stop City in the Champions League are that's no one really. After beating Real Madrid,
we did it. And Real Madrid.
Us and Real Madrid on a good day, Real Madrid, if that is. But they absolutely slapped them. Even over the last 2 years, I think even when City did get knocked out, they were the far superior side. But Pep just not leaving bloody Kevin De Bruyne on. But yeah, chat. It's been an absolutely fantastic stream. Would have gone for a bit longer anyway, but I think we've more or less covered everything. Chat, if you haven't missed the episode that we did do 2 nights ago, there was a lot we talked about. Obviously, you know, a lot of you mentioned Steven Gerrard going to Saudi, which he has. And check out Connor's video as well. Me and Kev done last night.
Yeah.
Connor, if you're still in the chat, hang on, I'll drop it in anyway. But it was a very good in-depth talk and discussion. One of Kev, we more or less boxed off everything. Really, I think I said exactly what I wanted to say. Really, in all honesty, mate. But have you got any streams coming up this week, Kev?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the preseason starts, man, I'll be all over that, and you'll catch me at every preseason around the place. I haven't streamed on Twitch for a week or so. There's a lot going on where I'm trying to sell my house and move to a new house and all of that. And if that falls through, I'll be just back to doing what I'm doing. But it's just there's a lot of stuff going on recently with me that's hindered me in the last week or so. Let's say, and from doing any and getting any 2-hour period together where I can do a proper live stream. So, but that's going to change this week because it's festival season for me. But anyway, you'll find me at Spider LFC and here on the YouTubes. You'll find me here at Spider also. You'll find me at Spider and Spider LFC on Facebook. And on Twitch, you'll find me at Irish Spider Guy. Right?
So thank you, La. I'm just dropping. Click the button. There we go. Hello. Oh, there we go. I want to see the boys at the back. There we go. Oh, bit stretched there, lad. In terms of go and check this video out. Me, Kevin, Connor done last night. Anyway, we talked quite in depth on that. So the Cop Council, Connor, if you didn't, I'm doing your own job here, lad. You're a mod. But lads and ladies, oh, what's that? Is that John Henry's money bank?
It is.
There we go.
I stole the wallet, lads. You're welcome.
There we go. There we go, chat. If you wanted to sponsor another central midfielder or a centre half, just donate to John Henry's.
No handbag. No handbag for Liz this week.
Sorry. Oh, it's all ours. But yeah, but big up there. Big up, Nigel. Congratulations again. Nice one, matey. Really do appreciate all your support, everyone. And I say big up to everyone. If you've got your results coming up this week or whatnot, if you're going to college or uni in September, you're absolutely bloody smash it. If you got any aspirations in life, never let anyone say that you can do anything. Well, you can't do it because there's a lot of them people out there around, but prove the doubt is wrong, as always, as everyone loves to do. But Redbirds as well. Oh, Redbirds, how we doing, mate? We just ended off. You can rewind this, mate. But everyone, have a lovely rest of your night. A massive thank you, as always, to Kev and to every single one of you this evening jumping in. It wasn't a lot to speak about today, but I thought it'd be good to speak about the lads coming back to pre-season. Any news relation breaks in terms of big, concrete, proper transfer news will be live straight away anyway if it does break this evening. But Reds, Kev, everyone, look after yourselves. You never walk alone. And yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. as always. Well, see you.
My face is hurting.